Hello, and welcome to another step 7 in our series of Quantum Leap. And in this particular niche of real estate, and that is step 7, which is aligning financing. One of the things that really we as real estate investor we don't do really good is to make sure that the financing is there before we even go and look for the deal. And of course, we have been told that you don't need money to do real estate, and in some instances, that's true. But the fact of the matter is that if you have it and you don't use it, it's better than not having it and needing it to do deals. So let's dive into this, and I think that this one is going to be in three parts. So, first of all, let's look at the types of financing. First, there's something called the cash flow financing, which is if you are buying a business, you look at the cash flow of the business, and then if the business is generating, let's say, a $5,000 a month, well, then you can buy and have a finance for that business. For instance, Ed Dale in the internet marketing, Ed Dale is this Australian. He sold a bunch of websites who are generating $35,000 a month, and he sold that for $5 million. So the bank or whoever bought that business can go and ask for financing based on the cash flow. And then you have what we as real estate investors know, which is equity financing. Equity financing is that, well, I give you 80 percent loan to value. Property you buying for $100,000. You are an investor. I gave you $80,000. If you can bring $10,000, 10% at the closing table, but that is equity financing. So most of the thing we're going to talk about is equity financing. Okay, and then we also have two types of security. If we talk in real estate, it is secure. But we can also, as real estate investor, have an business unsecure line of credit, and we are going to talk about that abundantly. Here is an example to know really how we can leverage a working line of credit and an unsecured line of credit, and you can see the advantage of having both and having a little money in your bank account. Let's say that you have a $500,000 working line of credit, and I will define a working line of credit quickly. A working line of credit is the line of credit you have, like with the BB&T, Regions Bank, your local bank, that when you are ready to buy a property, they will give you the money, and it is secured by the property. So it's much better than hard money lender, and we will talk about the hard money lender as well. And usually they charge you prime plus 1, prime plus 0, prime plus 2, depending on your credit score. And what is interesting also is that generally they charge maximum 1 point, whereas hard money lender they charge 5 point and 15%. So you can see the advantage there. So that is a working line of credit. The unsecured line of credit is when, hey, as you say, it's just unsecured. So sometimes credit card, sometimes it's a line of credit, and maybe you get $25,000 unsecured line of credit. So what I'm going to show you here is the combination of the working line of credit, $500,000, which is not hard to have, and the unsecured line of credit. And just watch me here, and I'll show you how you can leverage that. So here is an example. Then you qualify for $500,000 secure working line of credit, and the interest, let's say, is 10%. Usually it's lower than that, but I just say it's 10%. So if you use those $500,000, then you will pay 10% in a year. So this is a very hypothetical example, but I say that the interest is $50,000. All right, you pay that with an unsecured line of credit. So far, you still have not used your own money. Follow me so far? Now, this $50,000, you also owe 10% on that. So that is $5,000. Where are you gonna get the money? That is where it came from. Now you are gonna get this $5,000 from exactly from your own account. So what have we done so far? We have used our own 5,000 to pay 10% of this money right here, which is paying 10% here. So we just leverage our $5,000, $500,000 to pay the interest here. Let's say that the $500,000 that we're using over here, we make 20% return on investment on this one. Our profit will be $100,000. That will be our profit. So we now have used $5,000 to make $100,000. See that? So we pay back everything, and we made $100,000 just by using $5,000. That is the importance of using someone else's money. And of course, you have to take this very, very carefully. You cannot just go and leverage bank's money. You have to know exactly what you're doing. We don't recommend that you use working line of credit and you leverage the whole 500,000. This is an example just to show you that you can use a little bit of your own money and make $100,000. But if you had the $5,000 in your bank account, it may be very hard just to make $100,000 without leverage. That is what is very important to understand: how to get working line of credit, how to get business unsecured line of credit, and we're going to show you in this video how you can get both. So now let's look at how this whole business of how to get the business working line of credit. I think that I'm going to do this in part 2, so I see you in part 2.